What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, the Sports Dr. Spock, Mickey Coleman, coming at you with another video. I'm glad y'all liked my last couple of videos, but this one's going to be a little bit different. Today, we're going to talk about somebody who helped build the mob. Let's get into it. Let's learn a little bit today about Mr. Meyer Lansky.
Loudest gangster. He did not like to shout. He did not like to fight. Yet he may have been the smartest of them all. This is the story of Meyer Lansky, a man who used his mind, not his fists, to build an empire. His influence was quiet but immense. It stretched from the bustling streets of New York to the glittering casinos of Las Vegas to the sunny shores of Cuba. He was the financial genius behind the American mob. True power was not in the barrel of a gun. It was in the numbers on a ledger. He turned crime into a business. He made it organized, made it efficient, made it incredibly profitable. From humble beginnings, he rose to become one of the most powerful figures in the American underworld. He was a master of strategy and a visionary in finance. He saw opportunity where others saw chaos. He built systems to manage money years ahead of their time. He forged alliances, crossed ethnic and cultural lines, and created a unified criminal network stronger than any before. While other mobsters made headlines for violence, Lansky worked in the shadows, the architect, the planner, the man who kept the money flowing. Meyer Lansky's story begins far from the bright lights of Las Vegas. He was born Meyer Sucholjanski in 1902. His birthplace was Grodno, a town in the Russian Empire. Today, this area is part of the country of Belarus. His family was Jewish, and they faced great hardship. In those days,
So he was actually a Russian Jew who helped build the mob.
Jewish people in the Russian Empire suffered from persecution and poverty. They were often the targets of violence and were limited in what they could do. Life was difficult and uncertain. Young Meyer saw these struggles firsthand. It taught him early lessons about survival and the importance of being smart and careful in a dangerous world. Like many other families seeking a better life, the Lansky family decided to move to America. In 1911, Meyer, his mother, and his brother joined his father in New York City. They settled
Of course, that was the Las Vegas Strip, and it wasn't New York City, but we'll get on with the video.
on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, crowded, energetic, and often chaotic. It was filled with immigrants from all over Europe, all trying to build a new life. The streets were their playground and their classroom. For a young boy like Meyer, you had to be quick and clever to get by. The Lower East Side was a tough training ground. Meyer was not a large or physically strong boy. He quickly learned that fighting was not his best skill. He saw other boys, like his future friend Bugsy Siegel, who were good with their fists. Meyer realized his strength was in his mind. He was quiet, observant, and very good with numbers. He watched the older men playing dice games in alleys and on street corners. He saw how they made bets, how they won, and how they lost. He was fascinated by the mathematics of chance and the flow of money. This early exposure to gambling and street life was his real education. He spent his time observing the complex world of street-level gambling, how small dice and card games could generate a steady stream of cash. He started his own small gambling operations with his friends. They were not big or violent, well-run and profitable. Meyer was the one who kept track of the money, ensuring everything was accounted for and the operation made consistent income. His reputation as smart and reliable grew. While others might panic when things went wrong, Meyer remained cool and analytical. Break it down, find a logical solution. People began to see him as someone who could be trusted to handle difficult situations, especially when they involved money. One of the most important events in his young life was his meeting with Charles "Lucky" Luciano. Luciano tried to shake down the smaller Meyer for protection money. Meyer refused to pay and stood his ground. They did not become enemies. Instead, they became lifelong friends.
Yep. See, that's what they met, and most people know that they were very good friends, best friends. And when they first met each other, they were in a fist fight. At this time, Luciano was a pimp. He started off in the pimp game.
Friends and partners. Luciano was ambitious and had a vision to create a national network beyond neighborhood gangs. He saw in Meyer a brilliant mind that could help him achieve this goal. Their friendship was the beginning of a powerful alliance. This partnership between the Italian-American Luciano and the Jewish-American Lansky was revolutionary. At the time, criminal gangs were divided along ethnic lines. Luciano and Lansky broke this rule. They believed that talent and loyalty were more important than where someone came from. They formed a multi-ethnic group that included Benjamin Bugsy Siegel and Frank Costello. Luciano was the charismatic leader and strategist. Lansky was the financial genius. Together, they laid the groundwork for the modern American Mafia, a structured, business-like organization known as the National Crime Syndicate. He was the treasurer for this new corporation of crime, the man who made sure the engine of profit never stopped running. Meyer Lansky earned the nickname the mob's accountant for a very good reason. Before him, mob money was often just cash stuffed into bags, hidden under floorboards, disorganized and difficult to manage. Lansky changed all of that. He applied modern business principles to illegal enterprise. He created methods for tracking profits, laundering money, investing in both illegal and legal ventures. He essentially served as the chief financial officer.
He probably was one of the first guys to really know how to launder high amounts of cash, high quantities of cash. It sounds like he was so good with money, he figured out how to make some of his dirty money clean. He probably was one of the first ones to really master that.
Officer for the National Crime Syndicate. His genius was in his ability to make dirty money appear clean. This process is called money laundering. He would take the cash generated from gambling, bootleg.
This is my first time watching this as well, even though I kind of created it from my mind or whatever. But this is my first time watching this. I was just kind of guessing where it was going.
Bootlegging, loan sharking, and move it through a complex series of transactions. He set up shell corporations, businesses that existed only on paper, to funnel illegal cash as legitimate revenue. He also understood the value of offshore banking, secret accounts in Switzerland and other countries with protective privacy laws. Lansky's domain was gambling, illegal casinos, sports betting, and high-stakes card games across the country. He ensured operations were run efficiently and seen as fair to keep players coming, and profits consistent. One of his greatest skills was staying out of prison, rarely signing documents, working through trusted associates and lawyers, keeping meticulous records in his head or in code. After World War II, a new frontier opened up for American enterprise, and Meyer Lansky saw its potential immediately. Nevada had legalized casino gambling in 1931, but for years the city remained a minor outpost. Lansky and his associates envisioned transforming Las Vegas into a glamorous paradise of gambling and entertainment. It would be hugely profitable, and a perfect place to wash cash from illegal operations. Lansky's influence was mostly indirect but critical, banker and strategist rather than public owner. The most famous project was the Flamingo Hotel and Casino, the passion of his old friend, Bugsy Siegel. Siegel dreamed of the most luxurious, stylish casino the world had ever seen. Lansky helped arrange financing, but Siegel's tastes and poor management led to massive cost overruns, from 1.5 to over 6 million. Investors grew angry and suspicious. The Flamingo's December 1946 opening was a failure. Their patience ran out. A few months later, in June 1947, Bugsy Siegel was assassinated. Despite its bloody beginning, the Flamingo became a huge success,
Yeah, see, they killed Bugsy. And if they would have just waited a little while, it would have been all right, because that casino is right in the middle of the strip and still makes a gang of money even today. But now I believe it's owned by a corporation. It's owned by the Caesars Corporation now. But it's still highly profitable, I'm sure.
setting a new standard for luxury and entertainment. The Flamingo paved the way for more mob-financed casinos along the Strip. Lansky oversaw investments and cash flow, laying the city's financial foundation. While Las Vegas was growing, Meyer Lansky turned his attention to Cuba, just 90 miles off Florida. In the 1940s and 50s, Havana was vibrant and glamorous: beaches, music, and a government friendly to American investment. As a foreign country, it was further from the reach of U.S. law enforcement. Lansky's success rested on a close relationship with Fulgencio Batista, a corrupt dictator willing to work with the mob. Lansky would bring millions to build world-class hotels and casinos. In return, exclusive licenses and protection. Under Lansky's direction, Havana became the Latin Las Vegas, taking over existing casinos and building spectacular new ones, such as the Riviera and the Capri, opulent venues attracting wealthy tourists, celebrities, and high rollers. Games were run professionally, and a portion of profits was skimmed before official counts. Untaxed cash was sent directly back to syndicate leaders. For a time, Cuba was his most valuable asset. He was a respected figure, able to walk openly as a major international businessman. He had created his perfect criminal paradise, a place to conduct business without fear of prosecution. But this golden era was about to come to a sudden and dramatic end. Lansky's success in Cuba was built on the corrupt regime of Fulgencio Batista. A growing movement led by Fidel Castro promised to end corruption and return Cuba to its people. Lansky and his associates believed Batista's army would crush any rebellion. They were wrong. On New Year's Day 1959, Castro's forces entered Havana. Batista fled the country. The party was over. The new government stormed into lavish hotels and casinos. They smashed slot machines. They burned gaming tables. Castro declared Cuba would no longer be the mob's playground, nationalizing hotels and outlawing gambling. In an instant, Lansky's Cuban empire was wiped out. Casinos shut, money stopped, investments lost. It was the single biggest financial disaster in the history of the syndicate. He was forced to return to the United States, to a different world and diminished standing. Law enforcement pressure intensified under leaders like Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy. The golden age was over. The final chapter would be a long, difficult battle against the law. After the disaster in Cuba, Meyer Lansky's life became a constant struggle to stay one step ahead of the government. They wiretapped his phones, followed his movements, scrutinized his finances. They saw him as the financial brain of the mob and sought a landmark conviction. Lansky spent a fortune on lawyers, fighting endless legal battles. He was charged with illegal gambling and tax evasion. Evidence was often circumstantial. Witnesses were unreliable or afraid. Lansky remained silent, refusing to cooperate, and beat most serious charges, at great cost to his health and finances. In 1970, facing a new indictment, he fled the United States and flew to Israel. He attempted to use Israel's law of return to claim asylum. The case became an international sensation, with U.S. pressure arguing he was a dangerous criminal. The Israeli Supreme Court denied his application. He was expelled in 1972 and arrested upon return. He was tried for tax evasion, but acquitted due to poor health, living out his remaining years quietly in Miami Beach. The legendary mob financier, once a globe-trotting
So after all that money laundering and all that, and all the hiding the money and all the fraud and all the illegal gambling, he never went to prison, which is amazing to me. Oh man, and that Cuba, could you imagine what a hot spot Cuba would be today if they made it another Las Vegas? Or if Castro, decided he didn't want all that stuff in his country because he wanted to give it back to the people. And a lot of people feel like casinos bring in a lot of crimes to certain cities. And Castro pretty much had Cuba on lock pretty much till the day he died. So he wanted to get all them people out of there, Lansky and all his other cronies, get them up out of Cuba. Do whatever you were going to do to their properties. Whatever money that was left in them casinos, I'm sure Castro seized, which probably left Cuba pretty rich, or at least Castro pretty rich. by the time he kicked Lansky and the rest of his partners out.
Mastermind, was now an elderly man in failing health. He died of lung cancer on January 15, 1983, at the age of 80. Upon his death, investigators searched for his legendary fortune, rumored at over $300 million.
Oh my
They
God.
found almost nothing. He had hidden it too well, or the stories were greatly exaggerated. Meyer Lansky left a complex, powerful legacy, transforming violent street gangs into a sophisticated, business-like corporation. He showed that financial intelligence could be a more powerful weapon than a machine gun. He introduced modern accounting, money laundering, and investment
You notice he's the only one that, out of all of them that didn't really spend time in jail like that.
strategies to the underworld. He created a model based on efficiency, diversification, and careful planning. His influence shaped the global casino industry, glamour, professional management, and attracting wealthy clients. While the mob was pushed out of Las Vegas, the business model remained. Popular culture cemented his image. Hyman Roth, in The Godfather Part 2, was largely based on Meyer Lansky. So, was
Really?
Meyer Lansky the smartest and most successful criminal in American history? He outlived and outsmarted nearly all his contemporaries, and he died a free man.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I guess that's it for this video. Let me know what y'all thought about this video. I appreciate all the new subscribers. We had about 17 new subscribers last week, y'all. I appreciate everybody coming in. You know I do all kinds of videos here. This is a little bit different from my ICE video and my Corey Holcomb video, but this is what you get here. I have something for everybody, so this is more of a variety channel. And I hope you new people enjoy the content that's coming up. And bring your friends in here. Let me know what you guys think about this video. I also have videos about Albert Baby Bell. I have a video about Lucky Luciano. Though I have a video about Arnold Rothstein, so check them out if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. And this is your boy, the Sports Dr. Spock, Mickey Coleman, and I am out. Peace.